welcome to Flory Models Daily Vlog. Here we are on Wednesday the 29th of July 2015 and cracking on a lot with Typhoon 2. Typhoon 1's done, finished that one off. You might notice we put the orange and the reds, type of a glow. To be honest, during daylight it doesn't really see much with it plugged in because you just get a little bit of a flicker. And then tonight I'm hoping it's not going to be as windy. It's quite windy last night, so I don't want to take this outside, but we're going to get it in the dark and with it all lit up, and hopefully we'll be able to see the full effect of those nice burner streaks and everything else. But added that on today and changed the colour a little bit. Before I had it quite orangey, this time I've put some reds into it just to give it that sort of heat look. I don't know how well the camera gets it there, but hopefully tomorrow what I'll do, I'll be able to bring you a little bit a footage shot in the dark with hopefully you can see more of that flickering and the light effects, and certainly the nav lights and everything else on the Typhoon there. This one, been really on this one today. I've been playing with not new techniques, but certainly different techniques. Some techniques when you're with modelling is very scale specific. For instance, I would never dream about starting to rub down and to actually sand down paintwork on something like a 1/72, because the scale effect is just never going to work. 1/48 it's still not really there. 1/32, 1/24, you can get away with it. So as you can see at the moment, this guy is absolutely covered in the wash, okay, which is literally just about to film taking that off. But some of the parts you might be able to see down here have already been done already, and what we've actually done is scuff these down. Now hopefully, with the power of editing, you'll see what is tonight's episode. Okay, so you've got a 30-minute episode of the Typhoon, which is going to be part 10, and it's going to talk about really what I've been doing today, because I've just finished editing it, so it's going up now. But hopefully it's showing you now the actual technique I'm using for sanding down the paintwork to wear through. Okay, now this is what we're saying about obviously on a scale effect, because if you're trying to do something even with like a skinny stick in there, it's going to be extremely hard to get in there to put in weathering effects. But hopefully you can see on some of these it works really well. So in a situation where we've got a grey primer down, then we painted the entire thing, and to be honest, that is why we painted the invasion stripes underneath. We could have said, oh, we don't need to worry about those areas, but we did it all in the camo, then put the invasion stripes over the top so we could deliberately wear through them. So if I just take a little bit of wash off here, hopefully you can see it on the wing. All right, so quick shameless plug, the wash, brush it on, let it dry, that's about it. I've used the wash on this one over a flat coat as well. All right, so literally you just come in and then rub away. Now the idea of the wash going on after any type of weathering effect is purely so it can get caught in the texture, okay? And because it's caught in the texture, it'll just wear through all of that. Now hopefully you can see we've got a very nice worn look to all this paintwork down here. And don't forget, this particular bird, I don't want it to be factory fresh by a long way. I want this one to look like it's had a really hard life. It's taken some damage, it's being repaired, it's in bits and everything else like that. So that is the point to this entire model. But it's not like some of the models out there which I've done in the past where, you know, they sort of tell a story of being on the ground and this, that and the other. This one is telling a separate story of like having a complete hard life. So that's why it's sat here literally just like this. If I just take this wing off right here in front of you, you can see, well, I'm hoping you can see, we've got some very nice weathering effects. So we've got a mixture of scratching, we've got a mixture of all different techniques going on this one right the way over. There we go, so we've just get in there. And remember, with the wash, the more you wet it, the more you can take away. It's very personal to the actual person who's using it rather than anything else. But there we go, that's that wing done now. So it's all worn back, it's all scuffed in and absolutely everything else like that. But at the same time, we've got great riveting detail down here and everything else. Needless to say, there's loads on this. We're obviously talking about the wash going on in the last part of this one, but if you are interested in wearing down paintwork, fading down paintwork and everything else, have a look at part 10 of that now. It's up on the site, and then hopefully it'll clue you into this particular technique of doing it. Some of the for, some of the against, some of the tools obviously I use. I'm just using the Flory Models range, so we're using everything from a standard blue sponge. The polishing skinny is great for doing that sort of, you know, scuffed patterns in there, right the way down to a normal skinny fine stick, because it can take it, okay, and then just rubbing it around and going through all the motions. So this one's really pushing on now. With that Typhoon out of the way and we got this one, I'm hoping tomorrow I can really push on with this. I've got something coming in tomorrow, which hopefully I'll be able to show you if I get it all set up in time for the actual, with the vlog with you guys during the afternoon. Just depends what time it's coming up. Needless to say, I've got two very large pallets turning up in here for something I've been after for a long time. It's storage. For me, you've got plastic bins, you've got, you know, to be honest, you guys have seen the walk around what I have in here, but I've got a lot of plastic tubs, I've got a lot of, you know, storage on shelves and everything else. What I'm crying out for is stuff like this, okay, for having broad shelf units and putting it in. So I have bitten the bullet and I have spent quite a lot of money because it's an investment for me. This is what I do every day and it annoys me the hell out of me when I can't find my tools. So I'm hoping to keep this all nice, a bit clearer. And I've actually got two tool chests on wheels as well. These are the real big ones that are sort of this big, and they're sort of 90 centimeters tall. The idea is they're going to stand behind me. I'm going to have one each side, but because they're on wheels, I can actually wheel one around and use it as a tabletop as well. And I've got all the drawers in there. They come with 9 drawers and there's a deeper one in the bottom as well. So loads and loads of tool space. I could put my paints in it if I wanted to, but mainly it's just for tools, equipment and all the stuff that I have lying around here on the bench. I'd like to get into those areas. I can get there, I can labelled up and all those different bits and pieces. So we have spent, you know, 600 quid on these things. So, but hopefully it's a good investment for me and it's going to pay dividends over time. Good quality stuff. Well, I hope so, but I'm going to give you a full review on that tomorrow. And hopefully it will be here in time, but as I say, it's coming on 2 pallets I've been told, and it'll be here sometime tomorrow, so hopefully it will be in time. Even if I can't get both set up, I'll get one set up for you so I can show you in time. If not, we'll have it on Fridays. Okay, now Friday itself is going to be a bit of an early one because I am out with some of the guys who are travelling down. We've all arranged to go out on the actual Friday night, so I might be doing a little bit of that. So the vlog might be up a little bit earlier. We might put it up around about 4 o'clock on Friday rather than later and everything else. But needless to say, got good reviews here tomorrow. Going to crack on with this one, really going to push forward with it. We'll get the Typhoon finished off next week and everything else, and obviously hopefully this Typhoon will be finished off early next week as well. And then we're going to be starting, once I've recovered after this weekend, with some sports type things. So as I said, we've got the RB6 coming up, and I've got the genuine paint coming for that one, thank you Matt, and I've also got the genuine Ducati paint, thank you Matt again. So our man in the know with all this, so we've got the genuine paints coming for these, so we shouldn't have any problem with colours and everything else like that. So that's about it for me. I'm going to get the wash off of this one, a little bit more filming done, and then we get part 11 all edited up for this one for you for next week. Alright, so there we go. So in the meantime, everybody, happy modelling, take care.